What's up? What's up? What's up, my mind your money business people? It's me yet again with another video on today's stock market that looks terrible. It looks bad, y'all. It looks bad. It looks bad. It looks bad. And I'm actually upset, right? Because I bought stock on yesterday and I wish I had waited until today to buy stocks because things are at an all-time low. Well, not at an all-time low. It actually said the Dow plunges 1,700 points. Nasdaq and S&P 500 pummeled in biggest rout since 2020. That's the COVID. So things are at a low, at an all-time low. Well, not an all-time low, but stock prices are down. This actually is a good time to buy. It's not necessarily, this isn't a bad situation. This is a good situation. This is a good time to buy stock. Because you got to remember, the only reason why things went down is because of the tariff issue. It has nothing to do with a lot of these stocks and these companies. It's because what's happening within the government and these trade wars that are starting, right? But I'm thinking at some point in time, hopefully in this lifetime and this year, things will start to ease out and we can pick ourselves out of the red when it comes to the stock market. So it says here in the news, U.S. stocks cratered on Thursday in their worst one-day sell-off since 2020, with the Dow tumbling almost 1,700 points as President Trump's surprisingly steep Liberation Day tariffs sent shockwaves through markets worldwide. The tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite led the sell-off, plummeting 6%. The S&P 500 sank nearly 5%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average tumbled 4%. The Dow 1,700 point drop was the fifth worst in its history. Damn. Sounds bad, right? Yeah, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So mega caps tech stocks were clobbered. Apple shares fell over 9% amid concerns about disruption to its supply chain. China, the source of key iPhone components, was hit with additional U.S. tariffs that raised its overall rate to 54%. Ouch. Nvidia and other chip stocks also tumbled thanks to similar concerns, while with the AI chip leader sliding over 7%. Yeah. The so-called Magnificent Seven stocks led the market rally over the past 2 years, shed over 900 billion with a B market cap. In one day, they lost 900 billion. 7 companies. Small cap stocks were also hit during the session as the Russell 2000 index declined more than 6.4% to close in bear market territory. The 10-year Treasury yield fell about 14 basis points to close at 4.05%, its lowest level since October 2024. Meanwhile, the US dollar index tumbled 1.5% to 101.92, also its lowest level since October 2024. So, the two-step approach to tariffs unveiled by Trump on Wednesday imposes a baseline rate of 10% on all U.S. trading partners, but applies extra duties to countries considered bad actors on trade, meaning they face much higher rates. The levies go into effect April 5th and April 9th, respectively. In total, some 185 countries are impacted by the tariffs. And the new duties set the effective U.S. tariff rate its highest levels in over 100 years. Damn. For his part, Trump downplayed the market reaction. In response to a question about the market sell-off, Trump claimed that markets will eventually boom. But stocks around the world sold off as the likelihood of retaliation from trading partners fueled fears of a full-on trade war and a severe hit to global growth. The pan-European benchmark stock 600 sank over 2.5%, while Japan's Nikkei 225 slumped 2.7% to its lowest level since August. Yeah, that's it. So let's see how bad everything went today. Yeah. Hey, this is what happens when you're in the market. But will it get better? I believe that it will. It's just going to take a while, because of all of this stuff, because of what the president is doing, because of what these tariffs are doing, and because of what the reciprocal tariffs we're going to receive as a country from these other 185 countries. So, yeah, Tesla went down $15.48 today, closing out at $267.28. Palantir lost $3.85, closing out at $83.60. Broadcom lost $18.08 today, closing out at $154.01. Nvidia lost $8.62 today, closing out at $101.80. My information technology ETF, FTEC, closed out at, lost $11 and, that's major. FTEC lost $11.86 today, closing out at $152.12. Ouch. My S&P 500 ETF SPLG lost $3.15, closing out at $63.24. Wow. It's, like when I look at Nvidia's market cap, like they're down to, they still have a lot of money. I mean, the company's worth $2.484 trillion. But I just remember when, they've trimmed like over $1 trillion since, I would say, let's just say of August of last year. Yeah, this company has, because it got up to, at least if I'm not mistaken, up to like a $3.4 trillion market cap, and now it's at 2.4 trillion. So Nvidia has taken a beating, and right now everyone is getting their behinds whipped. So it says here, because of the tariffs, it wiped out $2.5 trillion from the U.S. stock market. And this is coming from Bloomberg. It says roughly $2.5 trillion was erased from the S&P 500 index on Thursday. In one day, the S&P 500 lost $2.5 trillion. Yeah, my account went way down. But, because there is a but, the good thing, I don't like it, but this is one thing that keeps me optimistic and not feeling too bad, because I have been in the market, so I have been making gains for years. So what I am losing and what I lost today are, monies that I've made on my investment. I still have yet to lose any of my principal money. Any money that I don't know if I want to say principal. Either way, the money that I personally invested into the stock market, I haven't lost any of that money. But the money that I am losing is the money that I've made on my investment. The interest, the compounding interest, as the stocks were going up throughout the year, over the years. It still sucks, but that's why you have to invest. And as you can see, like the S&P 500, my S&P 500 ETF, it lost the least. That's why the S&P 500 has been around for so long. Um, and it's more of a safer bet because you're investing in 500 companies. And so not all companies lost $15, $15 like Tesla, or $8 like Nvidia. You know, Palantir lost only $3.85. So, you know, like if you had all of your money invested in Tesla and you took a $15 loss today, and you had hundreds, or you had thousands and thousands of shares of Tesla, you lost a lot of money because you only invested into that one company. But if you had thousands and thousands of shares invested into the S&P 500, like SPLG, you would have lost, you know, thousands of dollars, but it wouldn't have been hundreds of thousands of dollars like in Tesla. Again, it just depends on how much you have invested overall into the stock market and into an individual stock or a fund. But the S&P 500 is a lot more safer than an individual stock, because if all your money is invested into one stock and that stock goes down, your money goes with it. All of you, or say the company just goes bankrupt and is taken out of the market, you just lost everything. But in the S&P 500, your money is being spread across the 500 companies that are within that index fund or ETF, right? So it takes up the averages of those losses, and the S&P 500 only lost $3.15. And the S&P 500 ETF, my SPLG, it costs less than, say, my information technology ETF, which lost $11.86 today. And then some of the companies that are in my FTEC ETF is also in my S&P 500 SPLG ETF. Yeah. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna end this video because there's nothing else to say. I'm still trying to cool down. I just came from outside. I was out getting my exercise on. Health is wealth, right? Take care of yourself, take care of your health, get out of debt, you know, get rid of debt. As long as you are in debt, you are a slave to the lender, whether it be a bank, a finance company, another person. You are a slave to them until you pay that money back. And if you don't pay it back, there are consequences and there can be problems, right? And we don't want those problems, so get out of it. And if you need help getting out of debt, create a budget or contact me. But create a budget. Start telling your money where to go so you can stop figuring out or trying to figure out where it all went at the end of the month when you have nothing left, right? Start cutting some of your expenses. Start checking things that you may have on automatic pay that you may not even be using. You know, why do you have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Peacock, and you have cable, and you have Wi-Fi? It's like too much. And did I say Netflix? You know what I mean, right? You can't watch that much TV. So why are you paying for all of these services, right? So start saving money. Do you have to go to Starbucks when you can make your own coffee? You can buy Starbucks coffee and make it at home. Why are you spending $8 on a cappuccino when you can just buy the little K-cups or whatever you call those things and make your coffee and take it with you to work? Why are you spending $10 to $20 on lunch every day when you can prepare your food at home, cook for the week, and package it up and take your lunch with you, right? Figure out ways to save money. Figure out ways to earn more money if you don't have enough, if you don't make enough. Learn a new skill. You will have to put in some type of work because it is not going to be given to you. You know, you have to earn it. And by earning it, you know, you respect yourself more. It makes you feel better. You learn more during the process. And it just improves your overall spirit, right? Because you did it. It wasn't handed to you. You know, it wasn't given to you for free. You can say what you had to do to work for it, because it's really all about the journey and the processes and the things that you learn along the way that makes you feel better. And then you're able to handle things when life throws you a curveball because you have your emergency fund sitting off to the side, right? To where if something happened, you can dip into that pot of money to stay afloat. And then when you get on your feet or get back even keel, then you can replenish that money, because it may happen again, because that's what happens in life. Life, it's a part of life. Everything in life is not always smooth. Everything in life is not always nice. It's not always clean. It's not always good. So prepare for it, just in case. Right? Okay, so I'm going to end this video. So like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think, if you think anything at all. Oh, disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I pretending to be one. I'm just simply someone on YouTube giving their opinion. My hat's crooked. I think it's from the sweat. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, any and everything is on my video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. That makes sense, right? Or should I just... Yeah, so either way. Oh, consult with a financial advisor before you invest any of your hard-earned money. All right, so you guys take care. Peace. Have a blessed day. It's Friday here. Have a great weekend. Hey, buy these stocks at a dip. I may buy some more tomorrow. Yeah, even though it'll be Saturday here for me, when I wake up, if I wake up early in the morning, like 2 or 3 o'clock, it'll be Friday, so I may buy some stocks tomorrow before they close, just a few. Because I try to stick to my budget, right? Yeah. Oh, peace.